And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Ben 10 and Danny Phantom series premiere reviews, plus Avatar The Last Airbender Episode 1 and 2 reviews. Jay Hebert's Side of Things Episode 5. James Hebert's Hodgepodge of Nonsense. Shared Experiences re-airing on the new FTW main hub. Retro Wrestling Review Series Summer Shows, All-In Hype and All-Out Hype. The Wrestling Rundown and ATW View crossover, available now on demand. Fantasy Booking Series video, If Goldberg Stayed in WWE in 2004. Zero Entertainment presents the CAW Grizzly Tournament. All of a Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Simple Bracketology season premiere covering the G1 Climax 33, AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, and free show week by week. Indie Force episode 27, available now on demand. Jeff Meacham Network, all watch-along events. FTW watch parties for the go-home weeks of All In and All Out, plus pay-per-view coverage. A Simple Take. WWE Simple Takes featuring Casa D-18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. La Strada 1954 watch-along. Available on demand. WYW Intro and Immortal stream. Wrestling with Idiocy Episode 8. Fast food and restaurant discussion. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment. You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Beecham Network Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the Stat Boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dori Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D-18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to another edition of Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dori Lou. We are here live. Whoop, we lost the camera. Wrong shot. That's our graphic. Oh, my name tag went into my hat. We are here in good old Sevierville, Tennessee, in the middle of another tropical storm, a beautiful tropical storm. So if you hear rain on the outside, that's what's happening. We've had a great week. Let's start off with a little bit of news in what we did last week. We were promoting this all throughout months, Heroes and Legends 20 in Pigeon Forge. We had a great time. Turnout was a little bit slow and a little bit low, but still the show went on. Great matches, and big shout out to Jason Hurricane Maples, who was the promoter, put together a great show. We will have some pictures, new pictures coming up. Dori is just bouncing all excitement because, go ahead, Dori Lou.
We got to meet and take a picture with Coco Beware.
The Birdman.
The Birdman. Nice.
It was a great story. Jason asked me, he said, "Do you have any Dollywood tickets?" I said, "Yeah." He said, It's his anniversary coming up. I want to give him tickets to Dollywood." I said, "Done. No problem." Pop, you're back home. I was going to ask you when you were coming home. I hope you're safe with the hurricane hitting in Florida. Please, I'm so glad you're back home. I wanted to text you and ask when you were coming home, but now that you're home, please stay safe. It's hurricane season.
Hi, Manuel. Nice to see you.
Manuel. So we got into the convention center a little bit late, 4 or 5 o'clock or so. It was
miserable outside.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. So we got there. A few of the talent were there, and we did not break the cardinal rule of being rude to wrestlers. We went up and said hello to everybody who was there, and Jason told me that Coco was at Dollywood. And I'm like, oh, okay, so he's having a good time there. He shows up. I said, "Did you enjoy the park?" He said, "No, we didn't go." And I introduced myself as the one who gave me a big hug and a handshake. And so we're sitting there, and then we're ready to start the show. And Enzo Amore came out and did a nice tribute for Terry Funk and Wyndham Rotunda. And we held up our fireflies. And then I feel a tap on the shoulder. He's like, "What are your guys' name again?" I'm like, "Michael and Dori Lou." He's like, "Okay, I'll be right back." he came back with a personalized, there it is, a personal 8x10 from the Birdman, because he was so nice. We were so nice to him. He was so nice to us. Great guy altogether. Great show. And overall, a good time in the RAS.
We had a lot of fun.
Stand back. There's a hurricane. Yes, there is a hurricane coming through down in Florida. Yes.
So the only downside, depending on how you look at it, was Heroes and Legends was competing with several things going on in Knoxville. We're approximately an hour northeast of Knoxville, northeast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least east. We're about an hour northeast of Knoxville, and there were several conventions going on out there. We had Heroes and Legends, as well as the annual Jeep invasion in Pigeon Forge. So basically, any style of Jeep you can come up with some awesome paint jobs, some very, oh, wow. It was crazy, but so my best example is Los Angeles traffic. When you're sitting at those standstills on the freeways, that's kind of like what it was trying to leave Heroes and Legends and get back home, where technically we only live 10 to 15 minutes away.
Exactly.
It took us an hour to get home.
See, the main street in Pigeon Forge is called the Parkway. It also has an interstate number on it. There are a lot of interstate numbers that are referenced as street names. That's how it works here in Tennessee. So the right lane of either side of the road had the Jeeps mostly, and people would park their Jeeps in parking lots of Golden Corral, ice cream parlors, burger joints, hat stores,
pancake houses,
souvenirs, any shop they could get their hands on. And the right lane would be kind of like a mini parade almost. And
yeah, so something like that. Anyways, if people liked the Jeeps, they would bring rubber ducks out.
Yeah.
They would hammer rubber ducks, just those little miniature rubber ducks. And I actually I know I don't drive a Jeep, I drive an Acura. And it's not even an SUV, I drive a sedan.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually ended up getting some ducks as well. And one of them was from one of the drivers who was trying to change lanes. And I stopped to let him in. He ended up not taking that lane change after a while, but it was all good. So while we were sitting in this parade kind of unwillingly, but it's like, I don't want to change lanes because I don't want to try to fight to get back over, because I know the side street I need to turn on is right up here. Yep. If I can turn on the side street, I can get out of all the traffic. It took us about 45 minutes to get to it, and that was only going less than a mile. But once we got there, we were gone. But it was fun. We ended up collecting 7 ducks while we were in the parade. It was kind of cool.
And the only other time this happens, it's Jeep Invasion and Rod Run. Rod Run is like Jeep Invasion, but with classic cars. So you're going to see the 65 Chevelle fully restored in cherry apple red with a tiller on it. And it's just going to sit there and it's not going to move. But the problem is that everybody slows down to see the cars. They're not driving the cars, no. They are parking the cars in the hotel lots, and they're just sitting there with the hoods up so you can see the engines and everything. That's what makes it a traffic nightmare.
Yeah, so the speed limit in this stretch of road is 35 miles per hour. During Rod Run, Jeep Invasion, or some of our other events that happen throughout the year, you're lucky if you're going 2 miles an hour.
And
if you be prepared when you come for a visit during these times, and we'll try to let you know when they're coming up ahead of time.
Exactly. They are good to look at, but you need to be out of your car and looking at them, not like, ooh, 68
Gawking out of your
Chevy.
car. Yeah.
You could see them fighting that traffic on open mic night.
Oh yes.
That's
Yes.
right. We did go live.
Because you guys were
Open
on
mic
when it was
night.
happening. You guys were on when it was happening.
Yeah, we should
while
have
we were
we
on
should
the
have
air.
turned the camera around and put the phone up top and like, this is what Rod Run looks like.
You should have, honestly.
Stephen
That would've-
Invasion.
yeah, you
Because
should have.
actually, yeah, I had the sunroof open, so Mikey could have easily just set the camera, holding it up on the roof and taking a look at what was going on
Say
around us.
hello.
Yeah, hey, better luck next year, right? There you go.
Hey, we'll plan better. We'll plan better.
No, no, you're gonna do it now. It's gonna be a bit like open mic night always has recurring bits, man. You know how this goes.
That is true. That is true. We'll have to do that again for next Jeep Invasion. We'll have to make that part of open mic night.
There you go.
I'll put it on the calendar as soon as I have the date.
There you go.
All right. Let's get to the news and let's start with PGA Golf. The Men's Tour Championship is over out of Atlanta, Georgia. We have a new 2003 FedEx Cup champion. His name is Victor Hovland. And in the first round of the tournament, as soon as I get my notes up here, which they are, at the end of the first round under staggered scoring rules where the top-ranked player started with the best score possible, Colin Morikawa shot a 9 under 61 to record the best score in the first round. He was on fire. 9 birdies, birdie after birdie. Half of his shots were birdies, half of his shots were par. So he was at the top 3 of the leaderboard. By the number 1 player, Scotty Scheffler, he did not have a good outing in the first round at all. I believe he actually triple bogeyed 1 hole, which is very bad. He started off 10 under par, and he dropped down a couple spots, leaving Colin Morikawa at the top. In the second round, Victor Hovland joined with Scotty. They shared the leaderboard. They were tied at 16 under par. Both of them scored a 6 under. At the third round, it was delayed by thunderstorms. And finally, the fourth round, the final round got delayed again. Victor Hovland is your tour champion, winning by 5 strokes. The other notables in the top 10, Scotty Scheffler finished in 6th place at 11 under par. Rory McIlroy had back issues during the first 2 rounds of the tournament. He finished in 4th place at 14 under par. John Ram tied for 18th place at 7 under par. Patrick Cantlay was in 5th place, 13 under par. Xander Schauffele took 2nd place at 22 under par. Max Homa and Matt Fitzpatrick tied for 9th place, and Brian Harmon took 23rd. So this now ends the 2023 season. There is golf coming up, the Ryder Cup. That's going to happen in a month or so. There will be tournaments played from September to December. Still don't know how those are going to work. I don't know if they are. You can maybe consider them the preseason or maybe a warm-up, or maybe they're the fall classics. But these tournaments will be played. In January, the PGA starts its official season. They are going to play in Hawaii. Hawaii has said, we're going to rebuild and we will have the tour ready by January, and everything starts fresh. So when you see the rankings that we put up, those will be the top 10 players for the next FedEx Championship that will be held in a year. So we will keep an eye out. The Ryder Cup is still working out all the details with Team Europe, and we'll cover the Ryder Cup when that comes up. Let's hear about the ladies. Go ahead, Dori Lou.
So the ladies had their CPKC Women's Open in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And your big winner there was Ms. Megan Kang. You know what? I don't have a lot of notes on that, but I do have our top 10.
Okay.
There's been a few changes there. Or Mike, do you have any additional notes on the women's?
On the women's, Japanese golfer Yuka Saso used the back nine to score a 6 under 66 in the first round, and she had to fight off a swarm of mosquitoes while playing. Those nasty mosquitoes down there in Canada. In the second round, Megan Khan copied Yuka Saso and also scored a 6 under 66. She then took the lead. Megan Kang continued in the third round, improved to 11 under par. The finals had to go into a playoff against Jin Young Ko. She's in the top 10. Jin Young Ko hit the bunker or the water hazard. She ended up double bogeying, and Megan Khan wins in the playoff by saving par.
Your top 10 ladies, there's been a few changes. Starting number 1 is Céline Boutier of France. She tied for 22nd place in the CKPC Open. Number 2, Lilia Vu of the USA tied with Céline. Third place is Runyang Yin of China. She took third place in the Open, followed by number 4, Hayu Zhu Kim of Korea. She tied 36th. Their fifth place woman is Alison Corpus of the USA, who tied 17th for the CKPC Open. Number 6 is Jin Young Ko, whom am I talking about, from Korea. She's lost in the playoffs. She was the runner-up, so number 2 place, right? Okay, number 7 is Furu of Japan. She tied 32nd in the Open. And then here are some of our changes. Number 8, Nelly Korda of the USA. She tied 32nd in the Open. Number 9, Charity Hull of England. And number 10, Leona McGuire did not play. Their last one was the ISPS Handa. But despite that, they're still in the top 10. And there was a rookie. There's a rookie that's representing the U.S. when we play Europe in the Solheim Cup in Spain. Her name is Rose Zhang.
Mm-hmm.
She joins Jennifer Kupcho, Danielle Kang, Andrea Lee, Lexi Thompson, Lilia Vu, Nelly Korda, Alison Corpus, Megan Kang, and their captains are Stacy Lewis, Ali Ewing, Cheyenne Knight, and Angel Yin. They're going to be the U.S. team for the Solheim Cup in Spain. But a standout about Miss Rose Zhang, she's only 20 years old, for starters. She's a 2-time NCAA individual national champion out of Stanford. She won the Augusta National Women's Amateur Invitation in April. June 4th, she won the Mizuho Americas Open, and that was her first. It was her first LPGA start, and she won it. She's the first woman to do that since 1951, when it was achieved by Beverly Hansen. So she's going to be one to keep an eye on in the future. I will also note here that the U.S. last won at Des Moines Golf and Country Club in 2017 was the last time they won this Cup Series. And the last time they won on foreign soil was at the Golf Club St. Leon Rot in Germany in 2015. So let's see if we can win on foreign soil again, since we'll be playing in Spain.
And the Solheim Cup is the female version of the men's Ryder Cup.
Yes.
All right. So even though that the men's golf is done and we'll cover the Ryder Cup, that does not mean that the women stop playing. They keep going for at least another couple months. So The men just won't. We can report on the smaller tournaments, but they until I find out what they mean, like if they're just exhibition tournaments or if they actually mean something, it won't be as prominent. Moving on to tennis. The Winston-Salem Open took place this weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Here is your winner, Sebastian.
Oh my God,
Baez.
he said it correctly.
Yes, I did. Sebastian Baez. This was his fourth tournament in his career and his third tournament, fourth win in his career, his third win this year alone. Now, as far as the top 10 goes, none of the top 10 played in this one. There is a change to announce, though, and that change is that, if I can bring that up, let me bring that up. There we go. So everyone is currently playing in the U.S. Open, which is taking place as we speak. Next week's episode for tennis will cover what's happened in the U.S. Open, because the following week after that is when championships will be made. Holger Rune moved up to number 4. Casper Ruud moved up to number 5. Stefanos Tsitsipas dropped 3 spots, but he did win his first round matchup last night, so that's okay there. Everybody else stayed the same in the top 10. All right, let's hear about the women.
Well, you forgot about the
What did I forget?
maybe you didn't. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Okay,
Ignore
no worries.
that. We'll move on to the women's. Okay, so for the women, tennis in the land in Columbus, Ohio, your big winner was Sarah Sorribes Tormo, and the Chicago's Women Open in Chicago, Illinois, winner was Victoria Tomova. I have that the 2019 U.S. Open champ Bianca Andreescu pulled out of the Grand Slam tournament just this past Saturday due to a back injury. Paula Badosa also had to withdraw due to injury, which left Venus Williams initially with needing an opponent for the first match. These did begin on Saturday, and at Flushing Meadows, and as they progress, we will have more updates and information for you. Currently, your top 10 ladies in tennis. I'm sorry, Mikey, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that Sarah Sorribes Tormo got into the tournament by what's called a lucky loser. Basically, yes. in tennis tournaments, you have to qualify. Some players, because of their overall ranking, they automatically go in. Other players have to win a match to get in. Sarah lost her match. So when players had to withdraw, they literally drew lots and drew names. Sarah got in, and she ends up winning the whole tournament.
That's quite impressive. All right, so a few changes, if I remember correctly, here in your women's top 10 for tennis. Yes. Number 1 remains Iga Swiatek of Poland. She lost in the semifinals to number 7 in the Western Southern Classic. Western Southern Cup Classic. Classic. Number 2, Aryna Sabalenka of Belarus lost in the semifinals. Jessica Pegula of the USA lost in the third round. Elena Rybakina of Kazakhstan lost in the third round. She actually ended up retiring that round, if I remember correctly.
Right.
So after that, she needed a break. Number 5, Ons Jabeur lost in the quarterfinals. Number 6, Coco Gauff was the winner of the Western Southern. Number 7, Karen.
She moved up.
Oh, yes, and she moved up to 6th place.
Right.
Caroline Garcia of France moved down to 7th place, losing in the quarterfinals at Tennis in the Land. Maria Sakkari of Greece lost in the third round in the Western Southern Classic. And here's where a few more changes. Markita Vendrosova moved up to 9th place after losing in the quarterfinals. Sorry, words are not working today. And new in our top 10, or recent change to our top 10, is number 10, Karolina Machova of Czechoslovakia. She knocked out Petra Kvitova, although she lost in the final to number 6.
Right.
She lost to Coco Gauff. Is that correct?
That is correct.
In the Western Southern Classic. I do know that there has been some other updates since this was put together. We will make sure as this tournament goes on, you will have more updates as that goes on. I know Maria Sakkari just lost a match. Can't remember to whom at the moment. But again, we will have those updates for you next week, more full report as these tournaments continue.
And the news also just broke. Coco Gauff was playing in her first round, and 2 very important people showed up, the Obamas. She got to meet Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. And I think this might have been one of the first appearances in a while for President Obama, but he's full gray now. He has got a full head of gray hair now. That's what happens when you become the president, folks. You go gray.
If you say so.
I could say a lot worse, but we don't go political on this show. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we've got a big, long stretch, the back stretch of NASCAR. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You guys can check out everything coming up on the members only section for only $5 per month, and check out all the happenings that are going on there. I believe the Shield review, the Destruction of the Shield, has just dropped, and make sure you follow Casa D-18 Studios on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams, Casa D-18 Studios. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn that post notification bell on, and follow them on Twitter at ROWJJ Williams.
Thank you.
All
Dave.
right. Hello,
All
Tim.
right.
Thanks for joining us this evening.
We're making a left turn. Hello,
We're
Tim.
not just
Welcome.
making left turns.
It's the running gag.
Yeah, but it
Daytona.
wasn't just left turns this week.
The Coke Zero No Sugar 400 and Daytona was the final race of the 2023 regular season in the NASCAR Cup Series. There's your winner, Chris Boucher, driving the number 17 Ford for RFK Racing, followed by number 6, Brad Keselowski, also in a Ford. His teammate, number 10, Eric Almirola, another Ford. The Fords did... It's almost, in fact, it's even 5 and 5 in the top 10.
Yeah,
5
Fords Chevy.
and 5 Chevys. How about that?
No Toyota.
No Toyotas in the top 10. Stewart Haas Racing.
I am very shocked, real quick. I'm so shocked I don't see any Toyota at all in the top 10. That actually might be a first, and I don't even know how long.
I know, right?
That's actually crazy. That's historical, as the Australians would say.
Number four went to Chase Elliott in the Chevrolet. Number 9 for Hendrick Motorsports. Number 5, Joey Logano in number 22, driving the Ford for Team Penske. Number 6, Alex Bowman in a Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports. Number 7, Kyle Busch, or 7th place in number 8 for Chevrolet RCR. William Byron took 8th place in his number 24 Chevrolet for Hendricks Motorsports. Kevin Harvick took 9th place in the number 4 Ford for Stewart Haas, and Corey LaHoy number 7 in the Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. Now, when you hear of the big one, usually you're in California waiting for an earthquake to strike, but the big one took place in Daytona. Let's take a look at the pictures for this one, folks. This is what happens when a car goes into another one and another one and another one. So many cars were taken out. Put the picture up, please, James. Let's take a look at the damage. You go to a NASCAR race.
Wait, is there a picture? Oh, yeah, you did. Okay.
The big one strikes and takes out multiple cars. The first the first picture there, that's the calm before the storm. The second, impact. As you can see, this is what happens when cars meet each other. And the last car is Dori's driver, Austin Dillon, with the front wheel just barely hanging on there. But that was not the scariest moment. No.
No, it was not.
No.
I truly did want to. I thought about putting this up there, but out of respect for the driver, I did not do this. If you've ever wanted to see a NASCAR get thrown around like a Hot Wheel, go on YouTube and search Ryan Preece, because his car just went flipping over and over and over again. He got out of the car A-okay. He went to the medical center in Daytona. He is okay. He has been treated and released. But it is one of, imagine just going this way and then this way. And luckily the car landed on all 4 wheels.
Yeah, he took some serious. That car took some serious damage. I'm very thankful he walked away from it, considering some of the crashes and stuff that I've seen in my years of watching NASCAR. Yeah. He barrel rolled and flipped I think they said he flipped near a dozen times.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I saw the clip. I didn't get to catch the whole race because all in weekend, but. My dad sent me the clip on Facebook, and he did so many revolutions and turns. And I honestly, I didn't think that was ever possible anymore. I guess with these new cars, apparently if you crash, you can fly again. So that's worrisome.
Yes.
But
he definitely caught air there and all that.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of what the heck was the driver back? I swear I wanted to say it was either in Daytona or it was in Talladega, but there was a driver, and I think this is like the Xfinity Series before the Xfinity Series. This was during the Winston Cup era, like right at the tail end, and it was a driver who got launched into the air and did a bunch of revolutions. I forget what the driver's name was. Forgive me, but. And I remember the commentator going, I've never seen anything like that in my life. To actually put a name to somebody, it also kind of reminded me of a couple crashes that Steve Park was a part of when he did a couple revolutions in the air. That was kind of scary. And then Ryan Newman was infamous for having those kind of wrecks. And man, if it was back then, and I feel like this is worth mentioning, if it wasn't for the roll cages now, man, you're talking at the very least something broken in your arm, something. Like those injuries were commonplace, and now it's like the roll cages have very much prevented that. And I think the sport's better for that, but it's still scary looking when you look at something like that. It's probably the worst wreck we've seen in years, like single car wise. So
yeah, it is.
Just glad he's all right.
It's scary, but scientific too. NASCAR racing cars weigh 3,500 pounds.
Yeah,
and to have that, and if you're going 180, 190 miles an hour, it is possible to make the car flip, and
yeah. Which is why they have, I think, on the seats themselves, they have the restrictors now. Like they have they basically have a booster seat for drivers. It's the best way I can describe it.
They have the booster seat. They've got the whole in like looking like flight gear being buckled in kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a great point, Dori. Yeah, it's really like straight out. And I feel like it's just worth repeating again. Again, it ain't my show. It's you guys is running the production.
By all means, go ahead.
Like I do feel like that's worth pointing out. Like, thank God for the safety precautions that NASCAR puts in place now, because
definitely,
we and I won't even lie, we do love the spectacular nature of it too. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, we sure do. I love seeing a good crash, but I also love seeing everybody walk away from it.
Yes, exactly. Give us the best of both worlds. In this case, we want to have our cake and eat it too, and it is possible. So good on that.
You go to a crash and a race breaks out. How about that one?
You go to a demolition derby and a race breaks out. Get it straight.
Go.
Oh no! Don't give him ideas. Don't go to the dirt track.
I'm still schooling him.
Hey, we might be going to Bristol in a couple weeks. We don't know yet. If that news drops, we'll let you know.
Exactly.
So now that the regular season is over, we cruise into the playoffs. 16 drivers, and here they are. We'll start it off with Martin Truex Jr. in the number 19 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Of course.
Martin Truex Jr. This is his 8th trip to the Cup Series championships. He won in 2017. He's been actually hitting them every year since. No, I take that back. Every year since 2015, except, he didn't qualify in 14 or 22. But other than that, he's been pretty consistent being there. This is his 8th trip. Again, he won in 2017. In 15, 18, 19, and 20, he got down to the round of 4, and we'll see what happens next.
All right. Next up is Denny Hamlin in the number 11 for Joe Gibbs Racing in a Toyota again.
Yep, and for Hamlin, this is his 10th trip to the championships. He has not won a Cup Series championship. He's been running them since 2014 without a win, but he's been very consistent for 10 years now.
Number 24, Chevrolet, William Byron, representing Hendrick Motorsports.
This is his 5th trip to the Cup Series championships. Again, a no-win. The only year he did not qualify since he started was his first year in 2018. Other than that, he's been in the races since then.
Number 20 in the Toyota, Christopher Bell for Joe Gibbs Racing. That is Denny Hamlin's teammate.
So number 20, this is his 3rd trip to the Championship Cup. He has not won yet. His first one was he made it through round of 12 in 2021 and has improved since then.
In the number 5 Chevrolet, Kyle Larson. He is William Byron's teammate with Hendricks Motorsports.
This is his 7th trip to the Cup Series. Let's see. It looks like he started in 2016. He was not eligible for the Cup Series championship in 2020, but has been consistent other than that. He won in 2021. He's got one.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, his first he won in 2021 after not being eligible in 20, but has been pretty consistent through at least round of 12.
The first 4 to make their appearance in this playoff grid. Number 6, Brad Keselowski for RFK Racing.
Mr. Keselowski, this is his 9th trip to the championships. He has not won a single has not had a win yet. The best he's gotten to is round of 4 in 2017 and 2020. He did not make a playoff spot in 2022. He's been running with the playoffs since 2014.
Rounding out the Team Joe Gibbs Number 17 in the Toyota, Chris Boucher.
Chris Boucher, this is only his second attempt at a championship. This is his first playoff since 2016. So he's been out there for a few years, but this is his first playoff since the first time he made it there in 2016, where he was eliminated very early.
Number 1, Chevrolet, Ross Chastain, representing Trackhouse Racing Team.
Ross Chastain, as a driver, this is only his second attempt at a championship. He was not eligible from 2017 to 2020. It could be he was with a different team. I don't have all those details right now. But in 2022, he made it all the way up to round 4.
Ryan Blaney in the number 12 Ford for Team Penske.
Number 12, Ryan Blaney. This is his seventh championship attempt. Let's see. He did not qualify for playoffs in 2016. And that was actually his first year. The best he's done is getting to round of 8 in 17, 19, 21, and 22.
Another Ford, number 4, Kevin Harvick, representing Stewart Haas Racing.
Kevin Harvick, another 10-timer. We had 3 drivers that this is their 10th time, so there's one more after this. He won in 2014 and has been running pretty consistently since then. Since 2014, he has not missed any playoff contentions. The only winner was 2014. In 2015, 17, 18, and 19, he did get to at least the round of 4.
He changes teams. He gets into the playoffs. Number 8 in the Chevrolet for RCR, Kyle Busch.
And here's your third 10th time championship contender. Okay, I know we've done a lot of Busch boys hating, but since he's become a dad, he has come down. He's still not as much of a hothead, but he's also a teammate to my driver, number 3, Austin Dillon for Richard Childress Racing. So I have to kind of give him a little bit of props. So let's see.
To his brother.
We'll get to that when we get to Xfinity.
Okay.
All right. So like I said, this is his 10th time as a contender. He won in 2015 and 2019. He got to round 4 in 2014 and has not missed one since then.
Another Toyota for the newest team, 23XI, Tyler Reddick.
Right. Mr. Tyler Reddick. And it's kind of surprising that they actually ended up with 2 drivers in this series. So let's see. Tyler, this is his 3rd attempt or his 3rd chance as being a contender. He did not qualify for playoffs in 2020, was there for the last 2 years, but he only made it through didn't even make it through the first round. Early outs.
Up next in the next to last Ford, number 22, our favorite new bashing target, Joey Logano for Team Penske.
That would be about right, because he's still a hothead. He's still got a temper he's got to learn to rein in. All right, so this is his 8th time as a contender. He won in 2018 and 2022. He did not have a playoff chance in 2017, but he's been there since 2014.
The final Ford to make their appearance, number 34, Michael McDowell for Front Row Motorsports.
All right, so this is only his 2nd time going to the championships as a contender. He was not eligible in 2014 through 2016. There was no playoff berth for him for 2017 through 20 or 22, and he was eliminated early in 2021.
The final Chevrolet to make the grid, number 47, representing J. Doherty Racing, Ricky Steinhaus Jr.
Ooh, Danica's ex-boyfriend.
Really?
I don't remember if it actually came out to be truth or not, but for while Danica was part of the Cup Series as well, there was a lot of rumors that they were a couple. So we'll go with that. He has not been in a playoff since 2017, where he was eliminated in the round of 12. So it's been a few years. Let's see if he can get it done.
And last but not least, the number 23 of 23 XI Racing, representing Michael Jordan's number and his team in a Toyota, Bubba Wallace.
So yes, Bubba Wallace. This is his first time in making it to the playoffs. His very first one as a contender for a championship, for Cup Series championship. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen, although I believe I'm working that day. The playoffs begin in Darlington this Sunday, September 3rd. Stay tuned for more.
And then they go into they do
a round of 16. Then they drop down to a round of, I have it written down. Hold on. They go from 16 to 12 to 8 to 4 to the winner.
Exactly. Darlington, Kansas, and Bristol. You do not want to be in the final 4 spots at the end of Bristol. It's Bristol, baby, because they will cut you out and then you move on to the next round. Now, the grid there, with the exception of a few drivers, is not in the correct order. I put them as quickly as I could. So by next week, for the Darlington race, they'll be in the correct order so you know who is left. When we reach the final 4, the person that does the best in that final group of 4, regardless of who wins in the Phoenix race at the end of the season, is the Cup champion. And that's how the playoffs work.
I will tell you, William Byron is currently first for the playoff standings. And Bubba Wallace, who is the last driver to qualify, is 16th.
There it is. All
okay.
Right. Let's move on to Xfinity.
For the Xfinity Series, your big winner was Justin Allgaier in his number 7 Chevy for Junior Motorsports at the Wawa 250 at Daytona. Wawa. Makes me think of Walla Walla, Washington.
There you go.
Really good sweet onions, though. Oh, yeah. Your second place was Sheldon Creed in the number 2 Chevy for RCR, or Richard Childress Racing. Number 11 Chevy for Daniel Hemrick for Colleague Racing. Parker Kligerman in the 48 Chevy for Big Machine Racing. The double aught of Cole Custer's Ford Stewart Haas Racing. Followed by number 39 Ford for RSS Racing, Ryan Sieg, I think. Then you've got Parker Retzlaff driving the number 31 Chevy for Jordan Anderson Racing, my bad. Anthony Alfredo, the number 78 Chevy with BJ McLeod Motorsports. The 08 of Greg Galding, Chevy for SS Greenlight Racing, and Justin Haley rounded out that that top 10 in his number 10 Chevy for Colleague Racing.
Check out how close they were.
Oh my gosh. This was a photo finish. Justin Allgaier won by 0.005 seconds. They said by an inch.
5/100th of a second, folks.
Isn't that 5/1000ths?
If it's 3 spots, yeah, 5/1000ths, yeah. And if you look at the picture, it doesn't. They said that equals 1 foot in
1 inch.
No, 1 foot, 12 inches.
Oh, I read up 1 inch. Anyways,
but that's how close. If you think golf is a game of inches, so is NASCAR.
So
especially at 190 miles an hour.
Right. This was Justin Allgaier's second win of the season. They had some little crash bang booms happening too. In lap 42, Brandon Jones and Brett Moffitt made contact, leaving a 12-car junkyard after they went spinning across the tri-oval. They caused 12 cars to crash when they connected. During the final stage, with only 2 laps to go, I don't have his name, Hill hooked Trevor Baines, causing an 11-car crash, taking out a good deal of the front runners. They had to go into overtime. The first overtime attempt, there was an 8-car crash as they entered turn 3. All drivers involved in all the wrecks were good, but it was the second overtime where Allgaier was able to make that jump and get the win.
As far as the playoffs go for the Xfinity Series, Austin Hill has the lead at 919 points. Justin Allgaier is at 892. John Hunter Nemechek is third in his Toyota, 891. The double out of Cole Custer in his Ford, 817. Sam Meyer in his Chevy in fifth place at 755. Josh Berry in his Chevrolet at 733. Sheldon Creed at 683 in his Chevrolet. Daniel Hermick in his Chevrolet. Chevy's got a lock here, 679. Chandler Smith and another Chevrolet, 675. Parker Kligerman in his Chevrolet, 643. Riley Hurst doesn't drive a Chevrolet. He drives a Ford. He's at 623. And Sammy Smith in his Toyota at 609. The next race coming up in the Xfinity Series is the Sports Clip Haircuts VFW Help a Hero 200 at Darlington. And then they have their season finale the week after in Kansas, the Kansas Lottery 300. One more race to talk about, and that is the Craftsman Truck Series.
Ooh.
Finally, we get a Truck Series race.
What?
Finally, we get a Truck Series race.
Yeah, we've been without them for a little while. Well, the trucks don't necessarily race every week. It depends on where they're going as well. And I missed that one. Yeah, that one is. Oh, that's why, because I didn't get the updated information. So, Mikey, go ahead and read it.
The winner was Grant Enfinger in the number 23 Chevrolet for GMS Racing, followed by another Chevrolet, number 42, Carson Hocevar for Nice Motorsports.
Hocevar.
And in third place was Christian X, the number 19 Chevrolet for McAnally Hilgeman Racing. Corey Heim took fourth place in his number 11 Toyota for Tricon Garage. Fifth place was Matt Crafton of Ford, with driving the number 88 Ford for Thor Sport Racing. In sixth place was Chase Purdy, driving the number 4 Chevrolet for Kyle Busch Motorsports. In seventh place was the number 98 of Ty Majeski. He drives a Ford for Thor Sport Racing. Derek Kraus took eighth place in his number 7 Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. Jake Garcia in the number 35 Chevrolet for McAnally Hilgeman Racing. And Bailey Curry rounds out the top 10 in his number 41 Chevrolet Nice Motorsports. The Craftsman Series playoff is current. They are in the playoffs right now. The top 10 players will be chopped down to the top 8 after next week's race in Kansas.
Now, this win, Enfinger's win secured his spot in the round of 8. The round of 10 concludes on September 8th at the Kansas Lottery 200. And a quick note, although Enfinger for GMS Racing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be their final season in operation. They are ceasing operation at the end of the season. And as Enfinger put it in an interview, they are all out of a job at the end of the season. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some of them, a lot of those, find other teams to go to before 2024 season starts. All right. And with that, we're going to take a short promo break, and we'll be right back with you. Maybe.
Maybe we don't have a break.
You can check out all the people that are a part of the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, but primarily Casa D-18 Studios, as mentioned before, and also the Jeff Meacham Network. I'm looking for the graphic. Where is this graphic? Why is it so hard to find? I'm trying to find it. This is very difficult. Hold on. Wait, no.
Technical
I found
difficulties.
it. Technical difficulties. More like vision difficulties. Maybe I need glasses or something. I don't know.
You want to borrow mine?
Or mine.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Well, yeah, we'll do that. Line. That's what I need. Oh man, I think I missed one graphic on the NASCAR thing. By the way, I don't know if you guys got to it already, but let me.
Which one?
No, we're good.
No, we're all covered.
All right, cool. Sorry about that, guys. Here's the actual graphic, but yeah, continue.
We got that one. All right.
Yep.
To basketball. And I
Woohoo!
believe the next one is WNBA.
Yes. All right, WNBA. Oh, Lord. So we've got me needing to make my screen bigger. Hold on. There we go. The Las Vegas Aces, as we know, they clinched back on August 2nd. They are currently 30-16. The New York Liberty clinched on August 11th with 28-7. And the Connecticut Sun have also clinched their spot on August 20th at 24-11. The teams that are out of contention, not going to happen this season. Seattle Storm and Phoenix Mercury are bye-byes. Still in the running, we're looking at the Dallas Wings, who are 19-16. The Minnesota Lynx, okay, at 17-18. The Washington Mystics at 16-18. Atlanta Dream at 16-19. The Los Angeles Sparks are 15-19. Chicago Sky 14-21. And the Indiana Fever are your current cellar dwellers that are still in contention for a playoff spot at 11-24. There are games going on.
I think by next week we'll finally have a playoff bracket. If not, by 2 weeks for certain. I think they play 4 times a week. So
yeah,
by next week, all the spots should be covered.
Yep, regular season. Well, it goes through next week at least.
2 weeks. We'll definitely.
The playoffs are scheduled to begin on Wednesday, September 13th. Once we have all the teams and who's playing who, when, and where, we'll let you know. We'll have all those updates for you next week.
Raymond, you're jumping the gun a little bit for NFL, okay?
And we're getting there.
We'll get to that. We got to get through basketball first. Then we'll talk about football.
Excitement.
Indeed.
Let's see. So I was saying that there's a couple of games live now. Minnesota at Washington. Oh. If I can make this work right. Minnesota at Washington is currently 29-34 with Washington in the lead. They've got 4:35 left in the second. And you also have the Mercury at the Dream is going on right now, and they are currently 44-22 with wow, I just blanked, I'm sorry. With the Dream leading, and they are 152 left in the second.
There you go. All right. In other basketball news, the FIBA tournament is going on strong. Teams from all over the country, all over the world are playing. Here are some of the results. Well, here are all the results up to date. In Group A, Italy defeated Angola 81-67. The Dominican Republic defeated the Philippines 87-81. Then went on to defeat Italy 87-82. Angola defeated the Philippines 80-70. The Dominican Republican. Wow. Dominican Republic defeated Angola and advanced into the second round by a score of 75-67. And the last game in Group A, Italy defeated the Philippines 90-83. So in Group A, the Dominican Republic and Italy have advanced into the second round.
He said it.
I said it. Let's go on to Group B. Go ahead, Dori Lou.
Group B, the South Sudan defeated Puerto Rico 101-96 in overtime. Serbia defeated China 105-65. The South Sudan then turned around and defeated China 89-69, and Serbia defeated Puerto Rico 99-74. They have not determined yet who are the winners of Group B, so they're still going.
In Group C, they've got the flag behind me. Greece defeated Jordan 92-71. The United States defeated New Zealand 99-72. New Zealand then turned around and eliminated Jordan 95-87 in overtime. And then the U.S. decided they wanted to play basketball and defeated Greece 99-72. The Greek national team does have one of the Antetokounmpo brothers. They have Thanasi on their team. Giannis is not playing due to knee surgery. Greece is going to play New Zealand either tonight, tomorrow, or Thursday, and the winner of that matchup should get into the next round. Jordan is out.
Jordan is out. Hey, and you've got one of my Timberwolves playing there.
I do? Oh, cool.
Well, not for Greece, but
on Team USA?
Yeah, Team USA.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm very, very excited about that.
All right.
D. Group D. Graphic, please. Sorry, folks. We got some things mixed up and getting graphics sent to everybody. So, James, if you want to go ahead and just bring up that FIBA graphic and leave it up, that's fine. Group D, Montenegro defeated Mexico 91-71. Lithuania defeated Egypt 93-67. Montenegro then defeated Egypt 89-74, securing their spot. Lithuania defeated Mexico 96-66, defeating their securing their spot. Egypt defeated Mexico, although they were both have been eliminated. It was a, what do you call it?
A friendly.
Okay, a friendly. 100-72. I don't think that was very friendly. Lithuania then defeated Montenegro. Lithuania then defeated Montenegro 91-71.
In Group E, Australia defeated Finland 98-72. Germany defeated Japan 81-63. Germany then defeated Australia 85-82, securing their spot into the second round. Japan eliminated Finland 98-88. Germany then beat Finland. That was a warm-up game since Finland had already been eliminated, 101-75. And then Australia locked in their position, defeating Japan 109-89.
So Group E, we've got Germany and Australia. Okay.
Yes.
Group F, this one hasn't been settled yet. Georgia defeated Cape Verde. Did you spell that wrong? Verde?
I did. Cape Verde. I apologize to the country of Cape Verde.
Georgia defeated Cape Verde 85-60. Slovenia defeated Venezuela 100-85, and then Cape Verde defeated Venezuela 81-75.
In Group G, Brazil defeated Iran 100-59. Spain defeated the Ivory Coast 94-64. The Ivory Coast then turned around and knocked Iran out of the tournament by a basket, 71-69. Spain then defeated Brazil and locked in their spot for the second round, 96-78.
And finally, Group H, Latvia defeated Lebanon 109-70. Canada defeated France 95-65. Then Canada turned around and defeated Lebanon, securing their spot in the second round, 128-73. Latvia then defeated France, knocking France out, 88-86. Latvia has secured their spot in the second round. And I guess kind of a friendly, France defeated Latvia after they lost to them. That's funny. After Latvia defeated France, France turned around and paid them back the favorite at 97 to 85. Nope, I read that wrong.
No, you read it right. France did
France-
win 97 to 85. I put it. That was
You
my
put
mistake.
it backwards, boy.
I put it backwards. I goofed. I botched.
Okay.
I admit it.
And there was one more match on there, but they're already secured. There's Canada defeated Latvia 101 to 75. Canada and Latvia are your defenders for Group H.
Indeed. All right, let's take a look at some baseball stats before we hit to the meat and potatoes of the Stat Boy Sports Bar, and that is NFL football. We'll quickly go through that. The Atlanta Braves are still the number one team at 85 and 45, followed by the Orioles at 82 and 49. Dodgers are 81 and 49. Rays are 80 and 52. All four teams are in the 80s. Seattle at 75 and 56. Houston at 75 and 58. The Rangers and the Brewers are tied at 74 and 57. They easily have that spot locked up, well over 100 runs as a tiebreaker. Philadelphia at 73 and 58, and Toronto rounds out the top 10 at 72 and 60. The Cubs are at 69 and 62. The Red Sox, Diamondbacks, and the Twins are all tied at 69 and 63. The Red Sox have a good 30-run lead over the Diamondbacks, who have almost a 30-run lead over the Twins.
We're still in contention.
We're still in contention. The Giants are at 68 and 63. The Reds are at 68 and 65. The Marlins are at 66 and 65, and they are the last team to be over 500. Yankees are at 63 and 68. The Angels, even though we got Mike Trout back, we lost the pitching arm of Ohtani-san. He tore his UCL, so that's just not going to help much. We kind of need them both. They're not eliminated yet, but they lost another spot, so we'll see what happens with that. San Diego and Cleveland are tied at 62 and 70. The Nationals are at below the Guardians. The Mets are at 60 and 72. The Tigers are 59 and 72. Pirates at 59 and 73. Cardinals at 56 and 76. White Sox at 52 and 80. The Rockies are at 49 and 82. The Royals are barely hanging on at 41 and 92. And the Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas Athletics are at 38 and 94.
Now, on Monday night at Coors Field, it was the Braves at the Rockies, and the Braves won 14 to 4. Ronald Acuna Jr.
Oh, yeah.
29th homer in the fifth inning, stole a 60th base in the seventh, and then increased his leading stolen base total to 61 in the eighth. He now stands as one of four players to hit 20-plus homers and steal 60-plus bases in the same season. He joins Ricky Henderson, who's done it 3 times, Joe Morgan, who did it twice, and Eric Davis as the only players to steal 60-plus bases and hit 20-plus homers in a single season. Henderson has been the most recent to reach the plateau in 1990 when he hit homers and swiped 65 bags for the A's.
Ronald Acuna Jr. also got tackled by a couple of fans who claimed the alleged story is, and Acuna thought he thought they wanted to run out onto the field and take a selfie. Big no-no. A fan is never allowed to touch the field. They have the barricades there for a reason, but these two guys decided, let's tempt fate and let's try and get a selfie with the guy. Security tackled them. They were taken into custody. The home plate camera immediately pulled out to an extra wide shot of the stadium. The commentators are talking about it. Acuna was okay. He gave the thumbs up. He's like, I mean, even if you reach over the barricade, some stadiums have this. If you're on the foul lines and the ball is out of play, it's clearly a foul ball. And if you attempt to reach over and you fall on the field, your intentions may seem good. you are going to jail. Even if you want that foul ball, it's not worth it, folks. Wait your turn to properly meet a sports celebrity. Don't tempt it. You're gonna get into some serious trouble. It's that simple, folks.
True.
It's that simple. If this has happened at work. I saw Kofi Kingston at work. Okay, he came in with his family. I treated him with respect. That doesn't mean I'm going to jump the barricade, take out my phone, and go click. WWE security is going to tackle me. It's not worth it. It's not worth 3 to 5 in prison for a selfie. It's not worth it at all.
No, I'll agree with you there. In other baseball news, though, a couple other interesting things happened. So this is only his 50th game of his major league career, and that is for Royce Lewis of the Minnesota Twins. In the second inning of Monday's series opener between Minnesota and Cleveland at Target Field, Lewis crushed a drive to the bullpens in left center field for his second grand slam in as many days. So 2 grand slams in 2 days. What was it saying? The season's series tied. I lost what note I particularly was looking for on this. He's the first, there it is, the first player in Twins history to hit in consecutive games, a feat that actually occurred elsewhere in the majors earlier this month by Luis Urias of the Red Sox. And it's only his 50th major league career game.
Amazing. 2 grand slams back to back.
Yeah, in consecutive days, and he's the first one in the Twins franchise to do it. So that's pretty cool. I have one other big thing from baseball, and it's not necessarily reported to the major leagues as a whole, but it is being referred to as the endless game.
Yes, you told me about this.
Yes, endless game. So back in 2019, August of 2019, a world record was made in Canada for continuously playing baseball, basically a marathon game or marathon play, for 83 hours and 13 minutes. This was in August of 2019 in Canada. There is a gentleman named Scott, and I'm going to butcher his name. I'm sorry, Scott Reinardi. He's a professor at the University of Kansas. They are promoting, and it's starting this coming Thursday at 8 a.m., the endless game in Kansas City at, I wrote it down here, Mackin Park. It's being held at Mackin Park in North Kansas City. They are aiming for playing baseball consecutively for 100 hours. So starting Thursday, August 31st at 8 a.m., ending Monday, September 4th at noon. These are Eastern times. Actually, I take that back. Those are Central times. Their goal is 100 hours. But they're not just trying to break this world record. They've got like 60 men and women. They're going to be broken up into essentially teams, and every 4 hours there's going to be rotation, so somebody's always able to rest, eat, whatever they need to do, so they can continually play this game for 100 hours. Their ultimate goal, though, is for charity, raising money for charity. And when I last looked at the site, they were far from reaching their goal. They'd only hit about 29,000 and change. Their goal is 300,000 for various charities. They are raising money for Operation Breakthrough, Children's Mercy Hospital, Veterans Community Project, Gift of Life, and North Kansas City Parks and Recreation. If you just, whatever search engine you use, look for Endless Game Kansas City, and all the information is on there if you want to help them reach that goal.
100 hours of nonstop baseball. It won't end at 9 innings. It'll probably end at 90 innings.
However long, the longest baseball game went, I think they said 33 innings, but they were actually only on the field for basically an 8-hour workday.
Yeah, 33 hours, and then they find, because neither team could score. So I'm assuming that in this 100-hour baseball game, they're just going to keep hitting and scoring runs, and they're just going to keep going until the final buzzer goes off.
More or less, yes. They're not doing it necessarily by a by innings thing. They're just looking at the hours. It's like, yeah.
Indeed. Good luck to them. One final break, and then it's time for the meat and potatoes. NFL football. Stay tuned. Whoop, wrong one. What was going on, James?
I'm kind of feeling like channeling Noah. Botch.
You're muted, James.
Yeah, I another problem. I don't have the updated JJ trailer. We are we're gonna run his August trailer just one more time. So if you haven't checked out all the stuff that's on demand right now, go and check it out. But he is doing back to school month, so
okay.
This is everything that has premiered, because I don't have this and I forgot to ask him it, so that's my bad.
Okay.
This is everything coming up this is everything that's already there on Casa D-18 Studios for the month of August.
All
Welcome
righty.
back, everyone.
Goody. All right. As Raymond asked, oh, you can get another selfie. Yes. He's asking that because today in football was cut day. Basically, all the teams had until 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to trim down their rosters to the required 53-man roster. Tons of names have been thrown out. Don't really have time to go through everybody.
That's a lot of names.
A couple names have been thrown out for our fantasy league, which I can quickly announce. I've lost my kicker. I've lost Cade York. He got cut, which is not a good thing. So right now, he does not have a team right now, but we'll see where he lands in that point. Also, let me bring up my other news here. Rodrigo Blankenship of the Tampa Bay Bucks, he got, so he is no longer playing for the Bucks. He's out. And the other big news that dropped, Will Lutz, who played for the Saints, is now playing for the Buffalo Bills. As far as that, again, there are tons of names out there being thrown left and right. Next week, for certain, we're going, when we do the official kickoff preview, that's for next week's show, we will list each roster. We won't go name by name. We can't do 53 names for 32 teams. That's over 1,500 names. That would take way too long. But we can show who's on what roster and all that. So if you really want to know how your team is doing, go on social media, go on ESPN and find
NFL.com
and NFL.com, and we will definitely report everything as to what's going to happen in the 2023 season. This week also marked. Oh, go ahead, Dori Lou.
So with that 53-man roster final, to get down to those numbers, there's a few things, and I want to say thank you to Field Yates on Twitter for posting this information. I got it from him. These are some options for these people who have been cut. If the player has been there fewer than 4 seasons, they are being hit with waivers. The waiver claims have to be processed by noon tomorrow. If the players have been there for more than 4 seasons, they are immediately free agents. And as of 4:01 this afternoon Eastern Time, they were able to sign anywhere. People who are on the reserve, PUP, or NFI, I had to look it up myself. PUP is physically unable to perform, and NFI is non-football injury. So those folks who are basically reserve players due to these various injuries, those who are on that list today will miss a minimum of 4 games. If somebody got moved to the injured reserve list today, they are not eligible to return, and they are out for the entire season. 16-man practice squads begin Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. All free agents are eligible to join any of the practice squads that they may be invited to or are interested in joining.
So there you go. All right, let's find out what happened in the final week of the preseason, starting with our first game. James, if you would please put up the first graphic. Dori Lou will read the stats, and I'll give a little report on each game.
Now, keep in mind, James, that I, for some reason, did not get these slides, so go ahead and just leave them up, please. The Steelers went against the Falcons, and they won 24-0. Kenny Pickett was 4 for 4 for 86 yards, 21.5. Oh, we're not worried about that. 4 for 4. Let me try that again. 4 for 4, 86 yards, no touchdowns, interceptions, or sacks. Zeros across the board. Mitch Trubisky went 7 of 9 for 54 yards, sacked twice for minus 15 yards. Mason Rudolph went 3 of 7 for 15 yards, zeros across the board. And Tanner Morgan went 1 for 4 for -4 yards. Is that what I'm reading correctly there?
Yes. He threw the ball behind the line of scrimmage and ended up losing 4 yards.
Oh, boy. Okay, bench him. Over for Atlanta, Logan Woodside went 24th for 31 for 196 yards, sacked 4 times for a -30, and Taylor Heineke, 0 for 2 and sacked once for -7.
Mike Tomlin didn't waver in his decision to play quarterback Kenny Pickett and other Pittsburgh starters, even though Atlanta coach Arthur Smith countered with his backups. By the score alone, it's a knockout. Pickett led 2 touchdown drives and showed that he and the Pittsburgh starters are ready for real games as the Steelers overpowered the Falcons in the final preseason game. These reports and blurbs are coming directly from ESPN.
All right, next game was the Colts at the Eagles. The Colts won 27-13. Gardner Minshew went 9 for 11 for 102 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions or sacks. Sam Ellinger went 6 of 8 for 86 yards, threw 1 interception, and Anthony Richardson went 6 of 17 for 78 yards. He got sacked once, but didn't lose any yardage in the process. Over on the Philly side, Tanner McKee went 19 of 34 for 158 yards, sacked twice for -14. Ian Book went 11 of 15 for 80 yards, sacked once for -9 yards. And Marcus Mariota, 50%, 1 of 2 for 21 yards, but zeros across the board.
Indianapolis rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson displayed flashes of promise, but also showed that there's much work to do as the Colts win. Named the starter after the preseason opener at Buffalo. His stats were given there. He is 6'4", and he's the number 4 pick out of Florida. Colts coach Shane Steichen helped Philadelphia's Jalen Hurts transform from a second-round pick with questions into one of the NFL's elite quarterbacks during the last 2 seasons as Eagles' offensive coordinator. He will try to do the same in Indianapolis.
All right. Thank you, Colts. Well, again, Raymond, it was only preseason, so we'll see what happens. No, that's okay. Next game, James. The Detroit Lions at the Carolina Panthers. The Lions won 26-17. Over for Detroit, Teddy Bridgewater. I know. He's a former Viking, so I still root for him. He went 13 of 22 for 178 yards, threw 1 touchdown. Adrian Martinez went 5 of 11 for 39 yards, sacked twice for -2 yards. And Nate Sudfeld, 2 of 5 for 17 yards and zeros across the board. Over for the Panthers, you had Jake Luton, 6 for 12 for 74 yards, threw 1 interception and sacked twice for a total of -23 yards. Ooh, that hurt. Bryce Young, 7 of 12 for 73 yards, threw 1 touchdown, sacked once for -7. Andy Dalton, 6 of 11 for 60 yards, threw an interception. And Matt Corral went 4 of 12 for 52 yards with zeros across the board.
Bryce Young is ready to go as a quarterback. Remember, he was the number 1 draft pick this year. And he actually got to throw one of those touchdowns to our former Viking, who is now playing with Bryce Young, Adam Thielen. Yay. We come back.
I still root for him too.
But one of his runs, he needs to work on how to slide because, quarterbacks, when they run the ball, they are not supposed to get hit. They're supposed to run and then slide. Instead of sliding, he squatted. You kind of look kind of awkward on there.
It is kind of hard to slide sometimes in cleats, though.
Indeed.
I will give him that.
We'll see what he does in the regular season.
All right, next game. The New England Patriots Titans. Woohoo! The Titans won a game, 23-7. Your New England passing, Bailey Zapp, who has been cut, went 8 of 15 for 57 yards, sacked 4 times for -25. Trace McSorley, 0 of 1, went sacked once for -5. And Malik Cunningham, 0 and 2 for sacked once for -3. Malik Willis was your QB for all of the Tennessee game. 15 went 15 for 20 for 211 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and was sacked twice for only a -6.
Coach Mike Vrabel wants to show that the Tennessee Titans will start fast, ready to go. Preseason's done. Let's move on. He's got young quarterbacks. They started out slow. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. He said that. Ryan Tannehill only started and played three drives before he passed off the ball. He's getting ready. I guess they're playing it safe, but you don't want to play too safe, especially in the last preseason matchup there. So we'll see where our Titans. We'll see where our Titans go. And unfortunately, the Heat kicked off. It's been a disgusting, yucky week here in Tennessee. 92 degrees at kickoff, and Bailey Zapp. There's Tennessee humidity. There's Texas heat. That's where Zapp was from. And then California is a volcano sometimes. So we don't need to worry about heat in Tennessee.
And just a quick note.
Yes.
Currently, I know I listed 3 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the Patriots cut them all. They've only got 1 quarterback active on their roster at this time, and it is Mac Jones.
Put all the weight on Mac Jones. There you go.
Yep. What would you guys do if Con wins Super Bowl?
Really? Good question.
Huh.
If the Jaguars win the Super Bowl? Oh, gosh. Well, first off, let me touch on that. WWE has marketed championship belts with each logo. There are rumored stories that they are not marketing the Jacksonville Jaguar belt because of Tony. No?
They sold out of them already.
Well, gee, I guess I'm not going to get a Jacksonville Jaguar title belt anytime soon.
Like you really wanted one.
Go ahead, James.
Wait. So they did, and then they sold out
immediately.
What?
In one day.
Jesus. Okay.
And they're like $570 each.
Why you gotta give? Jesus, man. That's
what
you're
did
giving
Tony
the
do? Go buy the whole stock so he could give them out to people?
Yeah, I was about to say it did. So who makes the majority of the cut too? Like, is it NFL or WWE or Jacksonville?
I think it's like maybe split.
That would be the honorable thing to do, but honestly, I'm stumped on that one.
WWE, the honorable thing to do. Come on. Who runs this company again?
Oh, right.
This is why I don't like business, okay?
I agree. But man, the memes are crazy. That's some craziness. I love that. I didn't even know. I thought, honestly, they weren't going to make one, but apparently they proved us all wrong, and they sold out of them just for the memes. I love it. You got to love the meme culture. I love the internet sometimes.
Yep, it's official WWE title belts, or $550 on the WWE shop, plus $49. Oh, no, that's something else. But yeah, they've got all the belts except for the Jaguars because they have already sold out of them.
That's fucking crazy.
Well, in answering Raymond's question, if the Jacksonville Jaguars can win the Super Bowl based on the talent, the quarterbacks, and the staff, fine. Tony Khan should not take any credit. Oh, I want what did you put on a pair of pads and a helmet there, Tony? Yes, you own the team. That's a gift. I'll get to you, Dori Lou. I own the team, but what did you do for the team besides pay for everybody? Go ahead, Dori.
But the memes.
No, I take that back. This is from Forbes. WWE's war with AEW knows no limits in pettiness.
Uh-oh.
Will we agree with that? The partnership with NFL is the latest example. The multi-year licensing deal to create NFL-inspired WWE legacy title belts featuring the official colors and branding of all 32 teams, but only 31 teams are currently listed on their online on all three online retailers. One team missing, the Jaguars. They're owned by the Khan family, which we know, and the Jaguars have been featured on AEW throughout the years, including a cameo from them head coach Urban Meyer and during the 2021 Stadium Stampede,
which was hilarious.
Appearing to remove the Jacksonville Jaguars from its listings of legacy title belts is yet another dose of pettiness that has become all too familiar during a heated wrestling war.
All right, WWE title. Oh.
Amazing.
That's weird.
Oh my gosh! So yes,
so they sold out. So either they said they sold out and they just didn't sell them, or they actually sold out and made the most money off of AEW, and Vince don't like it.
I think it's more. I don't see when I hear of Tony Khan and I can separate Tony Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, to Tony Khan as the owner of AEW. Okay, he's dipping his water in two franchises, NFL and wrestling. He ain't gonna mix the two anytime. He's not mixing it. WWE is. So he's not gonna. Is he gonna bring in the Jaguars and do the ring ceremony in an AEW ring? Probably not. Would it be for business? Absolutely. Would the fans like to see it? Yes. But in fact, let's bring out MJF and have him trash talk the entire team the whole season, because MJF doesn't like anybody. If you watch the Hot Ones special
Wings
with Adam Cole,
yes,
that was funny. That was funny.
I will go on record as this: I have seen MJF in a new light because, one, he doesn't like spicy food, and his story about meeting fans in the airport is genius because it's true. MJF, if you're watching, I said something nice about you. I still kind of think you can be a jerk sometimes, but hey, you call MJF a jerk and he'll smile at you.
But now see what I read too. So it also says official Fanatic Support X account replied, "Hey there, those sold faster than we could have ever imagined. I would prefer keep your eyes peeled for a restock." Yeah.
Okay. So they are doing
which is it?
Okay.
So which is it?
So I get what's going on here. So WWE isn't putting that on their website. They're not listing it on their website. NFL is. And they're actively searching for it. They're paying for it. This is the story of the year in sports entertainment. Sports and entertainment.
Sports bar. We don't even talk that much about wrestling. Yet when football gets involved, look what happens. Hashtag shenanigans.
Shenanigans, baby. All the
shenanigans.
Absolutely.
All right.
I hope they win. And you know what? Look, I get it. I get you don't want Tony, but Step Boy, think of the memes, bro. Think of it.
Memes of the social media.
Think of it. It would be absurd.
If I can split Tony Khan in half and have his wrestling side and his football side, I will gladly report that the Jacksonville Jaguars won the Super Bowl. Okay? I'm not going to talk about AEW All In. That's your department. You got that locked down.
No. I get it. I'm just saying it would be freaking hilarious.
He's got a point. It would be.
I mean, think about it too. You could have it like maybe you don't necessarily have to have Triple H be there. Maybe you could just have Nick Khan, the whole Khan family reunited. It'd be the story writes itself.
Oh. So is AEW or WWE paying attention to us right now?
I hope they both are.
Right? Emmanuel, you're very, very right.
If they are, I'm probably persona non grata, but with all the shit I've ever talked about them. But sometimes that's how the cookie crumble.
It'd be great if my phone rang and Triple H will you stop talking about AEW and go back to WWE? I'm the game.
No. No.
Yes, sir,
Hey,
Paul.
we're talking about football. What do you want? Okay.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah,
all right,
Moving
anyway,
on. Next
Let's go on to the
game.
next game.
which I think we're on this.
Yes, we're on
right?
this one.
There we go.
Yes.
Perfect.
The Los Angeles Chargers at the San Francisco 49ers. The Chargers won 23-12. For LA, Easton Stick went 91 of 11 for 38 yards, sacked twice for -15. Max Dugan went 4 for 9 for 15 yards and 1 touchdown. Over for the 49ers, Sam Darnold was 6 for 11, 89 yards, 1 touchdown. Brock Purdy, 5 of 9 for 73 yards, zeros across the board. And Brandon Allen, 2 of 6 for 23 yards with 1 interception.
Brock Purdy ran for a 5-yard touchdown during a brief tune-up for the season opener. And the teams again went different approaches. San Francisco played Brock. Los Angeles played their backups. Again, LA falling into one of the teams where they don't want to get their starters hurt, which is honorable. I mean, you want to get them, you want to warm them up, but you don't want to have them go all the way.
Right.
Next up. Next up should be. I did not ask you to talk there.
The Buffalo Bills at the Chicago Dumb Bears, the 24-21. Yes, I said it.
Yes, you did.
The Buffalo Bills passing, Kyle Allen, 18 of 34 for 162 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked once for -2. And Josh Allen, one of my fantasy quarterbacks, went 5 of 7 for 49 yards, zeros across the board. I'm guessing he didn't play very much because I think he's the starter. I think.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Over at Chicago, we had PJ Walker go 6 of 11 for 71 yards, 1 touchdown. Justin Fields, 2 of 6, zeros for 51 yards, zeros across the board. And Tyson Bagent, close enough, 7 of 14 for 43 yards, threw 1 interception and was sacked twice for -13 yards.
Everybody can breathe a sigh of relief. Damar Hamlin is safe. He has not been cut. He is on the roster. He is ready to go. Everybody relax about Damar. He is okay.
Yes.
Also, I'm pretty certain, we talk about him every week because we're very proud of him. Alex Austin has not been cut. I have seen a couple tweets out there saying that he has, and Chicago's going to pick him up. Unless, this is what we say this every week, unless it's a credible source, being the Buffalo Bills themselves, ESPN, or NFL. If you're out there saying that a player has been cut, you need to back it up. The Buffalo Bills did put something on their Twitter account, and there were 7 names that were cut. Alex was not one of them. So until that news gets official, and if you even go to the Buffalo Bills roster page, his picture is still there. The kid had 9 tackles in 3 games. They have no reason to cut him. If you're getting 3 tackles a game, you're playing the game right. You should not cut him. So for now, he is safe, just like Damar is.
Exactly. All right. Next game.
Yes, next game. What's the next game?
Hi.
The Seahawks.
Sorry. I muted myself. Before we get to the next game, a couple comments I just want to kind of get to, and then we can move on to the next game.
Okay.
Yeah.
No offense if Jacksonville wins the Super Bowl. $500 million and be like, what the fuck is AEW? Yep. Okay, so for those of you who do not know, AEW is All Elite Wrestling. It is the competitor to WWE, which is I just blanked on it. World Wrestling Entertainment.
The rival to the WWE. Yeah,
they rivals. Are rivals. We do a lot of support with WWE. We watch a lot of WWE shows. You have NXT, you've got Raw, you've got SmackDown. and all their wonderful, they're not actually pay-per-views anymore, but y'all know what I mean.
Premium live event, yeah.
Well, yeah, premium live events. Thank you. And we do watch-alongs and all kinds of fun stuff with them. But AEW is their main competitor. They actually have a big competitor. So for more on wrestling, tune into Talk Wrestling with Jeff Meacham tonight at.
There you go. Good plug. I
Eastern.
like it. I like that. Also, I just want to point out that would be a tremendous exposure. All kidding aside, I mean, if Jacksonville were to somehow win, that's huge, because then AEW does have to be mentioned. And I feel like if you are a sports analyst, any commentator, there's no way you're not going to mention that. And
right.
that's huge if that happens. So I don't know. I'm wearing a Buccaneers hat, but I kind of hope that Jacksonville wins it for the memes. I can't even hold you. That would be hilarious.
We'll have to wait and see what happens.
There you go. All right, I'm going off screen.
Next game, please. With sugar on top. There we go.
All right. The Seattle Seahawks at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers won 19-15. For Seattle, Drew Lock went 16 of 25 for 150 yards, 1 touchdown. Holton Allers went 5 of 10 for 55 yards and threw 1 interception.
And there's a botch on that graphic because I put Chicago instead of.
Shame.
So let me announce that Alex Mago went 4 of 5 for 69 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. Jordan Love went 9 of 15 for 63 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks. And Sean Clifford went 8 of 12 for 46 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 0 sacks.
And they're still cheeseheads.
And they're still cheeseheads. Jordan Love ended the preseason the way he wanted as he gets ready for the challenge of taking over for a 4-time MVP. He threw a touchdown pass to Christian Watson in his 3rd and final series of the day. This game represented Love's last tune-up before he begins his first full season as the starting quarterback following the trade of Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. Of course, he was a 2020 first-round pick from Utah State, and he has made 1 career start. He's got big cleats to follow, and if you want to be lucky at Lambeau, lucky Lambeau love is what you're going to need there, Jordan. All right,
we'll
up
see
next.
What happens.
We'll see.
Any more botches? Let's see.
I don't think so. I hope not.
The Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. I almost said Cincinnati. I'm sorry. The Chiefs won 33-32. Damn, that sucks.
I know.
All right. For Cleveland, Kellen Mond went 10 of 19 for 93 yards, threw 1 interception, sacked once for -14. Deshaun Watson was 50%, 5 of 10 for 92 yards, 1 touchdown. And Dorius Thompson-Robinson was 7 of 12 for 92 yards with sacked once for -7. Over on the Chiefs side, you have Blaine Gabbert go 10 of 18 for 169 yards, throwing 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked once for -5. Shane Buechele, 8 of 17 for 89 yards, 1 touchdown through 2 interceptions. And Chris
Oladukin.
Okay, what he said. 7 of 9 for 66 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked twice for -15 yards.
Deshaun Watson acknowledged there's plenty to fix with about 2 weeks left before the start of the season, but the Browns quarterback has seen some progress and believes things are trending in the right direction. That did take place in the first period alone. Cleveland, 22-3 at the end of the first period against the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs. That is nothing to sneeze at. Of course, they were blanked in the third period or the third quarter. They didn't score any points. Kansas City came back. They both scored a field goal to end the game. So if Cleveland can start off like this, they might have a chance, I think.
Well, Cleveland needs to not be getting hurt because Saturday's game, they lost lost 5 players to injury during that game. Jakeem Grant was the kicker, went out with a knee injury. Denzel Ward, cornerback, with a concussion. Jordan, I'm going to mess up his name. I apologize. Jordan Kinesick, linebacker, went out with his knee going bad. Tony Fields, linebacker, concussion. And Jordan Elliott, defensive tackle, went out with something happened with his hip. All 5 of them ended up having to leave during Saturday's game. So, Browns, get your players on, keep them safe. Keep them safe, keep them healthy so they can play.
Next up. Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah, I know. The Cardinals and the Vikings. And we lost by 1 freaking point. And I'm so mad because I saw part of that game. And okay, I'm fine. For the Cardinals, David Blau went 11 of 22 for 93 yards, throwing 1 touchdown and being sacked once for -4. And Clayton Tune went 9 of 12 for 85 yards, sacked once for -16. Jaron Hall was your quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings for the entire game, 16 of 27 for 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Minnesota, get your act together. You let the man get sacked 6 times for a total of -34 yards.
Yeah, we caught this game as we were trying to get to Heroes and Legends, and the Vikings just cannot win in the preseason. It's. I think they're on a 4-year drought of not winning a single game at all. I mean, of course, we say it's the preseason, it's practice. It doesn't mean anything. In some cases, it does. Now, this does not mean that the Vikings are going to have a horrible season. Look what they accomplished last year. They didn't win a game last preseason either. They ended up going to the playoffs. Dori Lou teaches us to be positive. So let's hope that they get kicked in the behind and get out of this slump before week 1.
Which is coming up real quick. And also, just a note with the Cardinals, Kyler Murray is still injured. They acquired Josh Dobbs in a trade earlier this week, but the Cardinals have not named who's going to be their starter for week 1. They're actually not planning on revealing that until game time.
Very smart move. Very smart.
All right, next
indeed.
game.
I think it's the Battle of New York.
It looks like it. The New York Jets at the New York Giants. The Jets won 32-24. Watch out, guys. The Jets are a team we're going to have to watch this year. I mean, they made some surprise improvements last season. I think they're still on that road. So for the Jets, Tim Boyle went 9 of 11 for 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zach Wilson, 11 of 18 for 107 yards. He got sacked once but didn't lose any yards. And Aaron Rodgers suited up for this game, 5 of 8 for 47 yards, 1 touchdown. And he, I believe, is planned to start this weekend. Over on the Giants, Tommy DeVito, 19 of 29 for 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 4 times for a total of -14. And Tyrod Taylor went 2 of 4 for 5 yards, sacked once for a -5.
Aaron Rodgers did suit up. He's ready to go for week 1. Would have liked to see him play a little bit more. He got the rust off. He had a couple drives, and then he bailed. Now, if that was me, I'm not the biggest Rodgers fan, but if I was a Rodgers fan and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's going to play, and he only plays a few drives, I'd want my money back.
Yeah, something like that.
Not going to lie about that. I mean,
I'm thinking, because I remember, prior to the show, when Mike and I were getting all our notes and stuff together, I was reading all the roster cuts, everybody who's been cut. And the rain has started again.
Love it.
And DeVito's name came up somewhere, but I can't remember if it. I think he was cut, and he is a free agent. because I think I saw him on a list of quarterbacks who are free agents for possibly somebody like the Patriots to pick up since they only have one quarterback on the roster.
If that is so, we will definitely report it next week for certain.
Because that's too much for me to try to look through.
Exactly.
All right.
Next game.
Before we do, we got a little comment from Emmanuel here.
We have a comment?
Who are we, New York? Who are we going to beat, New York?
The Battle of New York.
Yeah, but it's actually New York and New Jersey. Come on.
That's true.
I need to look that up a little bit more to find out why the Jets play in New Jersey. You think
why don't they call them the New Jersey Jets?
It's something to do with when they went to the field in New Jersey because they were so close, they were able to keep the New York name.
So I guess the Jets did it before WWE did. Okay. I just don't. It's easy. Whatever. It's confusing. I don't like it.
It is.
It triggers my tism. I don't like it.
Next game, please. As the downpour hits.
Yes, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Washington Commanders. Oh, there's an interesting story. I think I shared it last week. I don't remember. But the Commanders won 21-19. Cincinnati's passing, Trevor Siemian went 14 of 23, 433 yards, threw one interception. Red Sinnett went 6 of 11 for 77 yards, threw one touchdown, sacked once for -5. And Jake Browning went 6 of 6 for 42 yards and threw one touchdown. Over with the Commanders, Jake Fromm went 13 of 18 for 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, sacked twice for -13. And Jacoby Brissett went 10 of 15 for 96 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked once for -3.
Jake Browning knows that it's not his job to name himself as the backup or maybe even the starter if Joe Burrow can't go. Coach Zach Taylor isn't talking either, but it's pretty clear that Jake has strengthened his case for the job, going perfect. He's ready to go, and if called upon, he will take that number 1 spot from Joe Burrow. They're not saying anything about him. They really want to keep his status a secret until game day.
Yeah. All right, next game.
Wow, it's really coming down out there.
Yeah, I'm loving it. The Baltimore Ravens at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs won 26-20. Over for the Ravens passing, you had Anthony Brown go 12 of 21 for 171 yards, sacked 4 times for -21, and Josh Johnson went 6 of 9 for 95 yards, threw 1 touchdown, and was sacked once for no negatives. Over for Tampa Bay, Kyle Trask went 19 of 31 for 192 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked once for -8, and Baker Mayfield, yes, you heard that right, Baker Mayfield, 6 of 6 for 43, threw 1 touchdown, and that was it.
Baker's looking ready to go. It was his final tune-up match as the new starting quarterback. He was selected as the starter over Kyle Trask earlier in the week.
Sorry, I'm wearing the hat.
He's wearing the Bucs hat.
He's wearing the hat. Yeah, he's wearing the hat.
I am fan of Patriots South, yes.
All right. Next game.
We're almost done. As the rain keeps coming down.
The Miami Dolphins at the Jacksonville. So was this the Battle of Florida? All right.
Well, yeah, Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah, Battle of Florida. So the Jaguars won 31-18. For Miami, Skylar Thompson went 15 of 24, 435 yards. He threw 2 interceptions. Tua, I'm not going to try because I'll butcher it. We all know Tua. 4 of 6 for 67 yards. Tagovailoa. Okay. Sorry, Tua. You're too
Think
well.
outside the bun, I guess, right?
Again, 4 of 6, 67 yards, zeros across the board. James Blackman went 2 of 2 for 22 yards and zeros across the board. Over in Jacksonville, CJ Beathard went 8 of 10 for 134 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked once for -7. Trevor Lawrence, 8 of 10 for 92 yards, zeros across the board. And Nathan Rourke went 4 of 6 for 74 yards, sacked once for -10.
This was the second preseason game in 2 weeks where someone got carted off the field, and the game was called. David Davis, wide receiver, after a collision in the fourth quarter, taken to the hospital. He was conscious. He had movement in his extremities. Everything is A-OK. And this has got to be all about safety. It's a preseason game, so it was all right. If it was the regular season, they depending on how late in the season injuries like this happen, determine if the game is called. But everything is okay. He is released, and he was released the next morning, and we'll see where he goes with that.
All right. And I know we're almost done. We haven't hit the Houston game yet. Oh, before we get the Las Vegas Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yay!
The Cowboys won 31-16. Over on the Vegas side, we had Aiden O'Connell go 17 of 26 for 178 yards, zeros across the board. Chase Garbers went 5 of 6 for 46 yards with zeros across the board. Will Greer, I hope I said that right, went 29 of 35, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, sacked once for only a -1. Jeff, I'm sure, was very, very happy about this one.
Indeed he was, but of course, Will Greer got cut after this game because of the Trey Lance situation. So everything should be okay with Dak coming in next game. I'm very happy that the Cowboys won this game.
But I'm just very confused because he put in such a good performance in numbers, at least, and then gets cut. Like, why wouldn't you keep a guy like that? Very, very strange. That's very strange. I don't know about that.
Could it have something to do with the salary cap for the team too? Maybe.
Yeah. Those goddamn salary caps every time.
Oh, you might hear some thunder in the background because we're supposed to be having thunderstorms, not just pouring rain. So just a heads up.
And now for the weather with Dori Lou. Dori.
Let's go outside. Let's get some crash bang booms.
It's raining sideways.
Well, there was a really, really awesome light show. I'm going to say north of us a couple days ago.
Little Northern Light show?
No, it was lightning. It was
lightning.
It never came to us. I mean, I heard some distant thunder, but I ended up having to take Tyler to work.
Oh.
And it was just the light show from all the lightning in the distance. It was awesome. I mean, nature's light shows are some of the most phenomenal.
Yeah, I do like lightning shows. I will admit. So I'm right there with you. Step Boy, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
No, I didn't.
I thought you did. You just was like.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so Raymond's asking a commentary. Worried about Dak Prescott because of a 49ers trade?
Dak is the starter, okay?
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere unless he gets hurt. Trey Lance is the backup.
Right, okay, well.
You don't have to worry about Dak right now. I have to worry about Dak. He's my fantasy player.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, let me just make sure we're in the right graphics here.
Yeah, that's the next one. Yeah. I don't need a blurb about this one. It's self-explanatory, okay?
There you go.
Oh yeah, except for the graphic at the top is wrong because Mikey goofed again.
I did. Oh, yeah, I should say week 3, not week 2. You know what I mean.
Yeah, so
Well, it's
the
week 3.
Los Angeles Rams and the Denver Broncos. And I think when I saw this or heard this briefly, I asked Mike if the Rams even showed up. And he said no. Since, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like you said, 41-0. So I don't know what game the Rams are playing, but I'm not very much of a Rams fan since they left St. Louis. So that's that. Do I even need to give the quarterback stats? All right. We got anything else on them?
No.
The Rams didn't show up. What do you want to know?
What do you want to know? They did not come
Neither
to play.
the defense nor the offense showed up. Okay.
The last game of the week.
The Houston Texans at the Saints. The Texans won 17-13. Over in Houston, we had E.J. Perry go 7 of 12 for 58 yards, with zeros across the board. Davis Mills went 6 of 11 for 53 yards, sacked 3 times for -23. And C.J. Stroud went 2 of 4 for 16 yards, threw 1 touchdown pass. C.J. Stroud will be starting for Houston for week 1. That I do know. Over in New Orleans. Horses. I'm not done yet. I like hearing my voice. Jay Kaner went 17 of 38, 472 yards, threw 2 interceptions, was sacked twice for -8. And Jameis Winston went 11 of 16 for 93 yards, threw 1 touchdown.
Yes, just wanted to throw out that Jimmy Graham is A-OK with his mysterious medical episode. He's not going to let it stop what happened. He did show up at the game. Everything should be A-OK with that. And that ends the preseason portion of the NFL for 2023. Next week, of course, will be our official kickoff and final preview. Again, next week, we're going to go through team by team, show you where they are power ranked. Their rosters will be up. We'll put it on the screen there. We'll give our final thoughts on what each team is going to do in the 2023-2024 season.
I forgot something.
Oh, what'd you forget?
So, Pat McAfee.
Yes.
We all, I think, remember who he is.
Yes.
He made a proposition to T.J. Watt.
Uh-oh.
He's a Pittsburgh defensive end. So McAfee said if he will give $500,000 to T.J. Watt's charity of choice if T.J. breaks the record for the most sacks in a single season this season. Currently, he co-owns the record of 22.5 with New York Giants Hall of Famer Michael Strahan.
So basically, he would need 2 sacks a game.
There you go.
That's possible. It can happen.
2 sacks a game, T.J. Watt, $500,000 to the charity of your voice, charity of your choice, courtesy of Pat McAfee. I say go for it.
I say go for it as well. Our fantasy football team and our fantasy football leagues is pretty much set, minus all the cuts that took place today. We have 9 teams. Dori Lou's team is called the Tennessee Vikings. Tammy's team name is the Michigan Chiefs. Raymond's team is the Dallas Wolfpack. Brandon's team is the Nighthawks. Greg Cherry of the Greg Cherry brand is the Goose Mafia. Zach's team is Bijan Mustard. He changed his team name. Sean, our runner-up from the hockey league last season, Playboys 2.0. Emmanuel wants to name his team I Need a Miracle. And then, of course, my team, the Extreme Volunteer Bandwagon Hoppers. I might change it mid-season. But only a handful of players have been cut or traded. Our rosters are set. The next thing to come up is who's going to challenge who in week 1. Zach has already challenged me. That came up, I believe, week 2 of the preseason. So we'll also throw that into the mix in our chat room. And with a 9-team league and 18 weeks in the NFL season, each team plays each other twice. It works out beautifully.
I'm challenging Tammy for week 1.
All right. We'll put that in. We'll put that in the chat.
Let the two ladies battle it out.
Let the two ladies battle that out. All right. Indeed, it is. So that closes the book on all our stories for the week. I do have a Stat Boy shout out to announce. It is a little bit personal. It is about DJ Mutt King, also known as the fantasy god, Zach. Last week, he messaged me with some news, and he told me to tell the core group. Earlier today, Raymond wants to challenge Greg Cherry. Okay, we'll throw that out in the group there as well. Earlier today, his sister messaged me and said, go ahead and give the news. Zach went into surgery today to have a brain tumor removed in the front of his skull. He is currently stable. He is doing okay. His family asked to keep the positivity going. I did ask Zach, I said, is this going to affect anything? He said, no, everything should be fine. So to our brother, we love you. We hope everything works out well. We need you back in the sports bar. We need you back in here, letting everything know that how you
do
feel
your healing process first.
Yes. Don't rush it. Take all the time you need.
Priorities before passions.
Yes, indeed. So as of earlier this afternoon, he is in stable condition. He's not out of the woods, but that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So personally, for my brother, get well quick and come back into the sports bar.
Yes.
Yes, Raymond, we know you're not the only Dallas Cowboy fan in the multiverse of media. The guy whose name is on the marquee is, I think, a bigger fan than you are. All right.
That's highly possible.
Do we have any extra spills before we go into the weekly delight?
Yeah. Did you want to do one more plug before we go into the weekly delight?
Yes, we do have one more, and it is for Parker Kane Promotions. What's coming up on Wrestle Kane weekend in November?
Hello, pals. Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion, Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate, will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
All
right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our weekly delight. We want to keep that positivity out there. So this one's going to, I realized we've gone over 2 hours. It's not real short, but I'll try.
Go ahead.
The first way this reads comes across as negative. Okay. So this is how it starts. Today was the absolute worst day ever. And don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day, because when you take a closer look, the world is a pretty evil place. Even if some goodness does shine through once in a while, satisfaction and happiness don't last. And that's not true. It's not true that it's all in the mind and heart, because true happiness can be obtained only if one's surroundings are good. It's not true that good exists. I'm sure you can agree that the reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control. And you'll never in a million years hear me say that today was a good day. Now we're going to read it in reverse because there is positivity out there. And this is a good way to look at things. Today was a good day. And you'll never never in a million years hear me say that it's all beyond my control. My attitude creates the reality. I'm sure you can agree that it's not true that good exists only if one's surroundings are good. True happiness can be obtained because it's all in the mind and the heart. And it's not true that satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through once in a while. Even if this world is a pretty evil place, because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day. And don't try to convince me that today was the absolute worst day ever. It's a great day. We woke up to greet it. You wonderful folks are here with us. Our good friend and our brother in arms here at the multiverse came through safely through his surgery. We're just praying for a speedy and full recovery for him. There's lots going on with everybody in the multiverse right now. We wish them all the positivity and sanity needed to be able to do the jobs that we do. And just keep those smiles out there and keep them wondering what you're up to.
Indeed. James, you got anything else for us before we sign off?
Yeah, we'll just run through the plugs. We got a bunch of them, so we'll just pretty much do that. And then we will get the heck out of here. We went a little on than usual, but, plus technical difficulties. And I think we just, a lot of thunder, a lot of rain, a lot of interference, but it's okay. We tried our best.
We got through it.
We did get through it. So yes, you guys can catch this very program out every single week on this very programming here on the Casa D-18 Studios, Stat Boy Sports Bar, every Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m., 4 o'clock Pacific. Go and check that out when you can. I'm going to look, even though it's like way further down, I'm trying to look for where's your socials? I don't see no socials.
That's okay.
That is true. But yeah, you guys can check it out. It's probably in the other layout, so I'll just run through them quick. Speaking of DJ Zach, you can check him out on social media. Zach Nelson on Facebook, Fluffy Madden God on Twitter, and DJ Bayside High. Go check him out. You can also check out our Cleveland combatant. He will be back hopefully soon. I did see that there was questions about that. He did have church obligations, but you could check him out at we need to get
Tribal
this fixed.
Hymnal. We have to change that.
Yeah, what is it again? Just repeat that.
I think it's Tribal Hymnal 22.
Yeah, Tribal Hymnal 22, or maybe without the numbers, who knows. And Mallow Man Graham on Instagram. You check out our fellow boy who is a part of Parker Kane Promotions and always promotes them. Big G, Jeff. Check. That's how you pronounce it, Jeff or Geoff.
It's Jeff.
It's Jeff.
Yeah, that's what I figured. You can check him out on Big Baller G 1988 on TikTok, Twitter at NoDQ_Big Baller G on Twitter, and at Instagram and Threads at NoDQ_Big Baller G. And unlike it being, we'll just say this: Threads and X are not approved by Statboy, but I'll throw that up anyway because I think this graphic is way more appropriate for that. So there you go.
It's so scary.
Yeah, as we said before, you can check out the Casa D-18 Studios on YouTube and on Instagram and on Twitter. We will call it Twitter here for the purposes that we see Twitter right there. You can check them out all there. The Renegade JJ Williams, Casa D-18 Studios, and ROW Williams, respectfully. Make sure you subscribe to the members only section. Make sure you do that. It's only $5 a month, ladies and gentlemen, and you get a bunch of wrestling content, a bunch of extra content, including Renegades of Wrestling reviews, old school. If you really want that content, subscribe. It's only $5 a month. Hit that join button today. It's right next to the subscribe button and a notification bell. Currently, right now, he is doing a poll, and the poll won here for 2024 lineup. This is really a big one here. It is tied between cartoons turned into movies and video games turned into movies. So go to the community tab and vote. You can also check out his Throwback Thursdays on his channel, represented by No DQ, Jeff Meacham Network, A Simple Man's Brand, and J. Hebert Studios. There's content all across our little channels that air right here, old retro shows that we have done. And again, even though it's already passed.
That's passed.
Heroes and Legends has passed, but there'll be
Wi-Fi
another one coming
Can
this
you hear me?
spring. The date has not been announced yet, but we will let you know when we have the date.
James, did you freeze up there?
There you go.
I think James
Yeah, I
froze.
tried to get that up there, but yeah, it wouldn't let me for some reason. So there you go.
It's all right.
Dad, are we having Wi-Fi troubles? Dad.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, there we go. The
Are we having Wi-Fi
Warzone.
troubles?
James, mute yourself.
Hi. Hello. Hi. Am I back? I don't know.
Yeah, you're back
We're
now.
here.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're good. This is the Warzone.
Wi-Fi troubles.
That's Casa D-18
Oh, boy.
JJ's
Oh, boy.
weekly
Oh,
acquisition
boy.
report,
Oh, boy.
whatever new
Oh, boy.
DVDs and such he finds and gets into.
Oh my
That
God.
is Saturdays at 3:00
I'm
Pacific
right
time.
at the plugs here. What is going on?
You're fine, James. We're good. If there's nothing else to plug, we can just shut it down.
All right. So again, it sounds like we're having technical difficulties in our production room. Weather sometimes interferes with that when we're live. Hey, when you're live, things happen. You never know what's going to happen.
Indeed. As far as
We're good. Sorry.
okay?
I don't know what just happened. We're good, right? Am I coming in through?
You're coming in, but
You're good.
at this
And
point,
I covered.
I think
yeah.
we're done.
I
Yeah,
covered
we've
Ross
done enough,
Snow.
so until next
honest,
week.
Yeah, we'll just end the show here. Go for it, Stat Boy.
Next week is our official week 1 kickoff with our final preview of all the teams with their rosters, what they did in the preseason, and where they are power ranked. That is what's going to happen next week. Also, we'll continue with all the other news, the first round of the playoffs for NASCAR. Hopefully, we'll have some setups for WNBA. Again, get well quick, Zach. We love you all. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. For the producer man who did a great job, for the Stat Girl, and for myself, Stat Boy, we love you all. Stat Boy out. Good night.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment. I will say, as we end the broadcast here, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for Talk Wrestling, and Jeff will plug everything that I couldn't get to. Damn technology. Ah!